Hey, welcome to the Medicine Evolution podcast. Um, this will be a series of videos that help you understand the work that we do at Medicine Evolution. Um, and this particular video is going to be about the origin story of Medicine Evolution. So, how did I get here is often the question people ask. And obviously, before Medicine Evolution was a name, um, uh, there is a history behind it. And that history is my history because I was on the other side of the table. It started early in life, actually, for me. Uh, and it was that I was a pretty sickly kid. I was very sick with asthma. That was hard on me. There were a number of times that I felt like I was going to die, or I literally wanted to die because breathing was so difficult. And conventional medicine didn't really have the answers. They had medicine, but medicine was good in the acute stages of things, uh, but it was absolutely horrible in kind of everyday life. And they wanted me to take medications every day, as well as two different inhalers every day, and those just they didn't settle well with me. One of the inhalers wasn't so bad. It wasn't a steroid, so it didn't affect me in the same way. Um, but the steroid inhaler definitely, it was just too much on my system. Although again, it opened me up when I was in a severe attack. The pills, I still to this day have kind of a taste in my mouth of those pills. And I remember how it would make my heart race, and it would just make me feel off. I hated it. Um, I had an aunt who was actually a healer, and I would go to her to receive body work. She would also have me take herbs, and that was good. It helped me. She was a deep body worker. It was painful going to her. Um, she didn't give a lot of insight into what she was doing because it was more of a gift for her. She actually couldn't even teach it. She's now deceased. God bless her soul. But she was very pivotal, I think, in my own journey, because I did want to learn from her. So eventually I wanted to learn. Um, Eventually I wanted to learn how to help others, just like I was helped. So because she couldn't teach me, I felt like I needed to go out and look for, someone who could. So, I started studying on my own, but I would receive massage. My mother took me to an acupressurist, actually, a man who did acupressure. He may have been an acupuncturist or a chiropractor. I'm not sure, but certainly he did acupressure, and he used a tool to tap on me. And I don't remember that well, but my mom said that it helped me to bring up a lot of phlegm, which was always interesting for an asthmatic. I think that that's maybe part of the asthma. So, anyways, it was when I was later in my late teens, maybe even early 20s, I was competing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a lot. I was training and competing a lot, and I was in a lot of pain. So for such a young person to be in that amount of pain, that was tough for me. I couldn't train like I wanted to. I had chronic low back issues. I had remnants of ankle sprains that never really went away. I had neck issues from pulling, having my neck pulled on. And one day in the gym, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, Chris, can I work on you?" And I was like, "Okay." He worked on me, And it was just, I don't know, maybe a minute in, and things started to feel a lot better. And I was like, wow, I have my range of motion back, no pain. So that changed my understanding of things. Eventually, I went on to get more work with him, and he was excellent because even though his work was also painful, it did a lot to change all the pain that was going on, my ankle, my low back. But not only that, there was more. There were things that happened to me from the work that Rob did with me that were really surprising. I had no idea that, excuse me, the body work could do that, but certainly it gave me a higher level of awareness in my body. It freed me up from a lot of the restrictions and limitations that had gone on in life, from the asthma as well as the athletics. It freed me up, and I felt like my body was me rather than mine. So it kind of gave me a sense of feeling complete rather than a sense of like distant ownership. I guess that's how I would explain that. Part of that work was it helped me to embody my being. My asthma got better. I feel like I got less sick after I received the work. Maybe my immune system was better. But certainly when I went to the asthma doctor to attend school for structural integration, they did the breath test, breath capacity, and the nurse looked at my numbers and she was like, "What have you been doing?" And I couldn't put my finger on it at that point, because even though I could breathe more deeply, I didn't know it would affect my asthma. But she asked me, and all I could put to it was, I don't know, I haven't been doing anything different than in the past, but I've been doing something called structural integration, some hands-on work. When I got into the office and saw my doctor, he wasn't as surprised as the nurse was, even though my numbers that day were so different than historically. And he just prescribed me more medicine because I was going on this trip for a year or so to Colorado. Another interesting thing was that my confidence grew. So as you can imagine, when your posture changes, your confidence may change. We usually talk about it the other way around. Have better posture and your confidence will change. But I wasn't actually trying to have better posture. It just happened through the work. So that can sometimes be one of the results of the work. My confidence grew. And I felt like a completely different person, a new person, actually. So the work gave me a new life, I guess you could say. So after that, I packed for Colorado. I went to study with the masters, Emmett and Peter. They were Dr. Rolf's first two hand-appointed instructors, and they were my instructors, and I feel very blessed to have studied with them. They too are both deceased now, and I studied auditing with both of them. I watched them do the work. I watched their assistant instructors do the work, and I practiced in San Francisco with a man named Neil Powers. If you've heard of structural integration, the Rolf work, some of you know it as Rolfing. I studied under Neil Powers at the time. It was 1997, 98. And I finished my training in San Francisco with him. He was pivotal. We won't go into all that, but he was pivotal for me because he joined the two different ways of working of Emmett and Peter, which were, to me at that time, polar opposites. So yeah, I finished structural integration in 1998, and I felt like I needed more. So I studied homeopathy. I joined the Institute for Classical Homeopathy in San Francisco in 2002. I finished the coursework there in 2006. That's where I came up with the name MedicinEvolution. I had this vision that I would be sort of an alternative osteopath. Osteopaths, if you know about them, they work more with bones, kind of like chiropractors, and they are actual doctors, so they prescribe medicine and can also do surgery. But I wanted to be something different. Structural integration and homeopathy changed my life. They changed my view of the world and how people are how to treat people and even the underlying causes of a lot of ailments. We'll go into that all later, but I just wanted to kind of give you a rundown on how I got here and how the name MedicinEvolution came about. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Chris Corrales of MedicinEvolution.